evening, everybody. It's Saturday night in Appalachia, and I just wanted to do a little video for being outside, putting in some good work. This beautiful September day, 75 degrees, and it's just absolutely stunning out today. Perfect day to be outside. But I wanted to talk about celebrating life and celebrating moments in our life. Small moments and big moments. The last video I talked about was some things that were going on at the end of 2019 when I finished my third and final trip to Arrhythmia Life Advancement Center in Costa Rica. But I left out something, and it got me thinking about this topic of celebrating life and moments in life. And just to recap, January the 2nd, 2010 is the day that I mark as my spiritual journey began. That's the day that I stopped drinking alcohol and stayed dry for 6.5 years and became a seeker of wisdom and knowledge and truth. And that entire decade was one of seeking and experiencing many things. Trips to Peru, Egypt, Cambodia, a lot of trips around Michigan, trips around the country because I moved from coast to coast twice. I went from New Jersey to Portland, Oregon to Greensboro, North Carolina, and Greensboro, North Carolina back to Michigan. It's about 2,700 miles, those 3 trips. And I did a lot of exploring all around the United States. But at the end of 2019, that was the end of that decade of seeking. And I also called it a rite of passage. A lot of things happened on those last 2 trips, especially that last trip to Arrhythmia in December 2019. And the part that I left out was when I got home from Arrhythmia. It was right at the end of December, and I had been following Wim Hof, the Iceman, and I had been doing cold showers every day in Michigan. Winter water was very cold, even coming out of the pipes, very icy cold, and doing some breath work, things like that. And when I got home from Costa Rica at the end of December, I got this strange idea. And on January 1st, I went up to a place called Lexington, Michigan. It's about a 2-hour drive, hour and a half, 2-hour drive, up on Lake Huron, above Saginaw Bay City. And I went up there. I had been up there a few times. Go to the beach, cute little town, nice little beach. But I went up there on January 1st, 2020, with the intent of going for a dip in Lake Huron. Yes, I was in my bathing suit. It was late in the morning, 11 o'clock. It was about 30 degrees out Fahrenheit with the wind blowing, and Lake Huron was cold. And I went into the water, got wet, went under, got all wet. And didn't stay in very long, but it was icy cold. And I came out and did some movement, some horse stance, and some movement to get the blood flowing again. It's quite a shock to the system. But then I dried off and eventually drove home. I called it a baptism. I don't know why. It's just something that I felt like I had to do, and it was part of that transition from the decade of seeking to this decade of what I was calling a decade of healing, but it's really become a decade of reconnecting with my true self. That's what I feel like I'm at. That moment, January 1st, 2020, was bracketed by 2.5 years or so on each side of what was in part, not totally, but in part, a dark night of the soul. And I mentioned this the last time. I had gone back to drinking quite a lot, actually, and it really affected me badly. But it was a dark time in life, and it lasted for about 4 to 5 years, and about 2 to 2.5 years on each side of January 1st. But that period is over, and I reflect back on it now as quite the learning experience on many levels. But most importantly, it was because, as I said in this one video, don't give up on yourself, and I didn't. And I was able to reconnect with my true self. And what's happening with that is just living life at ease. And it's a wonderful thing to be able to be very blissful for a good part of every day. So that was a very big ceremony, January 1st, 2020. But there's also small ceremonies we can do, small celebrations of life. Fire ceremonies, which I'll have going here pretty soon, on a Saturday night or a Sunday night, full moons, new moons, that kind of thing. But there's another one that I do every day. I am waking up every day, getting out of bed somewhere between 5 and 6 a.m. And most of the time without the alarm, before the alarm goes off. Sometimes 1 minute before the alarm goes off, which is always a weird thing. But what I do is I come out to, I'm kind of slow in the morning, so I come out to the lanai. I have my little rituals. I actually do open up the 4 directions as part of the morning ceremony. And then I come out onto my lanai, put out the yoga mat, and I do about an hour of qigong movement. And I watch the sun come up. And it's a spectacular thing every morning to be outside watching the sun come up. It's coming up, I'm facing the west when I'm doing this, so it's coming up behind me. And so my yard that's right over here, all I do is I just see it lighting up moment after moment. And it's quite spectacular. And it's just one of these incredible things to be grateful for. Just grateful to be alive and to witness this beauty every day. As the light shines on all the trees and the bushes and the ground and the squirrels and the blue jays and everything else that I'm surrounded with. But it's a great way to have a small celebration in the morning. Just a small celebration of life, a little ceremony. You know, it could be as simple as lighting some incense or just looking at a tree or a plant or something. And just being grateful for that morning and the fact that we're alive. There's some little bird that comes to visit. There's one right behind me here. Right behind my camera, excuse me. So, that's what I've been thinking about this week, was these little moments, big moments and little moments that we can celebrate in our own little way. It doesn't take much. We don't need a lot of noise. In fact, the less noise, the better. We just need intention, smile, and the feeling of eternal gratitude. It's a great way to start the day. So, I hope you find a reason to celebrate in the morning the fact that you're alive. There was a post in my men's group on Facebook this week about one of the guys was going through a real rough patch in life. And I got to thinking about he had some big stuff he was talking about, and I got to thinking about taking that and breaking it down into small bite-sized chunks, and then finding the gratitude in little things. And the little things I thought about finding gratitude in was running water, indoor plumbing, and toilet paper. Okay? So every morning, no matter how bad things may be going, most of us can be grateful for having running water and indoor plumbing. Because if we go out to the Navajo reservation in the Four Corners area of the United States, there's about 30,000 people out there that don't have running water, and they have to go haul water. And I witnessed this a couple years ago. So, as I was saying, another thing to be grateful for is all the people that have come through our life. They have helped to make us who we are. You know, family and friends and colleagues and lovers. You know, they help shape us. And if we can reflect back on it and start to understand why we did the things we did, we can accept them for who they are and accept ourselves for who they are and be grateful for that experience. And we can even celebrate that experience. Fire ceremonies are a great way to celebrate relationship experiences. But it even could just be meditating, saying thank you from the heart. The Qigong movement, cosmic energy, earth energy, heart energy. Send loving heart energy out to all the people who have helped me to become me. Breathe it in, breathe it out from the heart. And send that loving heart energy out to those people that have helped make you who you are. Even the people who may have wronged you, abandoned you, betrayed you, whatever it is, it made you stronger. So all those kinds of celebrations, celebrating life in every breath, from life in every breath to all the people that come in our life to indoor plumbing and running water. There's a lot to be grateful for and a lot to celebrate. I hope this helps. I hope you celebrate something today or tonight, whatever it may be, and have a blessed week. Aho.